It's time, Michael.
Hey, that's me. Name's Mike. To say that my life has been strange would be an understatement. When I was 6, I killed one sister, and 15 years later tried to kill the other, but she then set me on fire. Then I woke up from a 10-year coma and tried to kill my niece, only to get thwarted again. And through a series of horrible life choices, I got stuck in a dead-end job as a janitor for a cult, and my life seemed to be going nowhere fast. Until one night I was walking home and saw something called a Zoltar machine. I wished that my life would have ended up differently, and now there are two competing realities in my head, and I don't know which is the real one. It's funny, my wish came true, but something tells me I'm about to get more than I bargained for.
It's you and me, baby. Head games.
Halloween H20 takes place 20 years after the events of Halloween 1 and 2, and it does away with the storyline from Part 4, 5, and 6, which were themselves soft reboots that only had a minimal connection to 1 and 2 to begin with. And so H20 is instead a direct sequel to Halloween 2, and so it's essentially the second Halloween 3, with the first Halloween 3 being the start of a Halloween anthology series that had nothing to do with the Michael Myers storyline, and the anthology idea was then immediately abandoned for Part 4, The Return of Michael Myers, which technically was the original third movie in the Michael Myers storyline. So H20 is actually the third entry in this series, because again, the events of 4, 5, and 6 no longer exist in this new timeline. Did I miss anything? Our story begins on October 29th in Langdon, Illinois, and we see Marion Chambers, who was the nurse that helped Dr. Loomis in Halloween 2, and she goes home and discovers that someone has broken into her house. She enlists the help of her teenage neighbor Jimmy and his friend Tony to stay with her while they call the police. And while they're waiting for the police to arrive, Nurse Chambers goes in and discovers that the file on Laurie Strode has been stolen. She notices a shadow outside and runs to Jimmy's house and finds him dead with a hockey skate to his face. And we get our first glimpse of the new and improved Michael Myers.
Hello, Laurie's brother's doctor's nurse. So you remember the fire at the hospital? I was burnt to a crisp. Well, 10 years after that, I had a whirlwind adventure that apparently now never happened. A lot of my personality and mannerisms were cultivated in those years, and now everyone is just saying, oh, it's just all in his head. Like, did you know that Laurie had a daughter named Jamie that I tried to murder? Does anyone care? And everyone's all like, hey, Mike, why are you making up these stories? You're such an attention whore.
Michael then kills Nurse Chambers and steals her car. We then travel to Summer Glen, California, where Laurie Strode is living under the assumed name of Carrie Tate after faking her death years earlier. Laurie is a headmistress at a private boarding school called Hillcrest Academy, and she's living there with her son John, played by Josh Hartnett in his film debut. And now, I'm not a rabid fan of Josh Hartnett or anything, but he does just so happen to star in two of my favorite movies of all time, Black Hawk Down and 30 Days of Night. Like, if me from now could have traveled back in time and told me from 1998 that the dude with the Lloyd Christmas haircut was going to be in two of my favorite movies ever, me from 1998 would be all like, why are you wearing sweats in the middle of the day? And me from now would be like, don't f***ing worry about it. I'm you from the future. You should be totally stoked. And me from 1998 would be like, dude, you have crumbs in your beard. What the hell happened to us? I'd be all like, oh, that's a hell of a way to talk to your adult self. And he'd be all like, well, my adult self looks like a complete loser. And I'm all like, what'd you say to me, you little shit? And Laurie has become paranoid and overprotective and is starting to affect her relationship with her son. And she won't let him go on the school trip to Yosemite. John's friends at school are his girlfriend Molly, her friend Sarah, and her boyfriend Charlie, who is definitely blackmailing Sarah about something, forcing her to be his girlfriend, but exactly what it is was cut from the script.
Hello, Laurie. Oh, I almost forgot about the mask debacle. Remember the cool mask I had when I tried to murder you? You wouldn't think it would be that difficult to find one as cool as that one, but oh, Lordy, do I have some stories that, I'm fading away.
Michael hides at a rest stop in order to steal a different vehicle.
So the first mask I had was modeled after that guy from Star Trek. I never watched it because I'm really only into action comedies, but it looked badass. And then I floated downriver and was in a coma for a year. And when I woke up, the mask was completely different and freaking huge. I couldn't even tuck it into my shirt. It looked so stupid. I murdered the man who nursed me back to health. It was the first time I'd ever taken a human life. That's not true. I don't know why I said that. I guess I just didn't want you to think less of me because I feel like we have a real human connection and oh my god, I didn't realize. Are you going poop or pee in there? Oh no, I didn't know that's what you were doing. Oh my, that's embarrassing for everyone.
LL Cool J plays the Hillcrest security guard Ronnie, and he's actually a very sensitive individual who wants to write romance novels And I feel like that could sum up every LL Cool J character. John convinces Ronnie to let him and Charlie leave campus, and Lori also leaves campus to have lunch with her boyfriend, the guidance counselor, Mr. Brennan.
And then your daughter Jamie tried to murder her foster mother, and I thought I was going to take her under my wing and teach her all I know about murder and revenge, but then nothing came from that. Seems like a real missed opportunity. Maybe I'll have a protege someday, and hopefully he'll be some awkward boy that has no connection to me whatsoever. He'll do all the killing while I eat raccoons in a sewer. It will be a huge disappointment.
Lori catches John and screams at him for walking around town on Halloween because Michael Myers could get him.
20 years. 20 years. Don't you think he would have shown up by now? What's he waiting for, huh?
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Whoop, wrong movie. Later in class, Molly is daydreaming out the window when she sees Michael.
Well, hello, Lori's son's girlfriend. Name's Michael. Or Uncle Mike. Oh, so anyways, don't get me started on my childhood home. Even before the time split, that thing never looked the same. Every time I would see it, people were like, oh, that's Michael's childhood home. And I was like, what? I don't appreciate people gaslighting me. Whoa! Ow! I got spooked by a chipmunk and now I fell in a sticker bush. Oh, this is just the day from heck.
The buses leave for Yosemite and Michael begins his night of terror. Lori confides in Brennan that her real name is Laurie Strode, and she's been hiding from her brother Michael Myers. Lori realizes that John is the same age she was when Michael tried to kill her, and she panics when she finds out that the phones are dead. John and his friends are having a party, and Charlie uses the dumbwaiter to go find a corkscrew, and nope, a dumbwaiter is just a smaller, way less regulated version of an elevator. Why would you ever go in one? Of all the dumb decisions in a horror movie, this is the absolute dumbest. And so young Alan Parrish then drops the corkscrew down the drain and reaches his hand in to get it. Tiny elevators and sticking your hands down garbage disposals. H20 is the only horror movie that knows what actually terrifies normal everyday Americans.
And so this girl that I liked named Tina was dating a real douchebag, also named Mike, and I'm sorry, what are you staring at? Oh, my ridiculous mask that seems to be barely hanging onto the fabric of space-time? Yes, I can see how that would be disconcerting. You see, I think that's a byproduct of my little wish on the Zoltar machine. Apparently my masks are trapped between multiple timelines too, and sometimes they just kind of fuse together and travel through dimensions to attach themselves to my face. It also smells like a thunderstorm in here. Does that make sense?
Sarah finds Charlie's lifeless body and Michael murders her. John and Molly go looking for Charlie and Sarah, and they find them dead, and Michael chases them down and stabs John.
So hello, Jonathan. I'm your Uncle Mike. Sorry I haven't been there for you, but honestly, you didn't exist until I inadvertently wished you into existence 3 days ago. Yeah, you're welcome.
And they get through the gate, but Molly drops the keys to the main door.
Oh, look at what we have here. I've got Molly's keys. And, oh, good gravy, little girl. Are you a janitor? Why do you have so many keys? Because I was a janitor, and even I never had this many keys. Well, well, well. Hello, Laurie Myers. Or should I say Laurie Strode? Or... what name do you go by now? Carrie Tate? I mourned for you, and turns out you're nothing but a fake. Do you even care about your daughter Jamie? I mean, I killed her in a barn, and she may have given birth to your granddaughter/niece, but I'm sorry, are you looking at my mask? Besides the space-time mask, I also have this Christopher Walken mask that I had to pick up at a party city. I know it still looks silly, but honestly, it's a step up from— whoa! Ow! Why are there so many marbles out here? Does your son just keep a dozen marbles in his pocket? That is so random.
Lori tells John and Molly to lock themselves in a room, and Brennan accidentally shoots Ronnie thinking that he's Michael. And then Michael appears and stabs Brennan.
Oh, this takes me back. Remember the ventriloquist acts I used to perform for you, and you would just laugh and cry and scream and shout and shoot and stab and blow up? Hey, have you been drinking tonight? What, no. Then why the hell are you talking to a dummy? Hey, now. I don't need you, you know. I can be funny without a dummy. You aren't funny with a dummy. Hey, you should speak for yourself. I wish I could. Yeah, they say that fish is brain food. Oh, really? I eat fish all the time. Oh, they must be wrong then. Hey, now. Oh, glad I caught up to you. So I was inflicted with thorn, which is an ancient druid curse that caused me to kill my bloodline on Halloween night. Oh, can I just finish this story?
Lori tells Molly to drive John to the neighbors and call the police, and she goes back to the school for the final showdown with Michael Myers.
So sorry, Lori. I didn't mean to reopen. old wounds.
She then stabs Michael repeatedly and knocks him over the balcony. And she goes down to finish him off, and Ronnie shows up to stop her. And legitimate question here, has LL Cool J ever been killed in a movie? The authorities show up and they load Michael's body into the coroner's van, and Lori steals the van and drives away.
Oh my god, oh my god, am I in a body bag? Oh my god, I do not like being confined. Let me out. Let me out, 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 let me out. Oh, there's a zipper. Okay. Oh, Lori, it's you. Alright. So now let me tell you about runes.
She runs Michael down and he gets pinned between the van and a tree.
Where's my hat?
You weren't wearing a hat, Michael.
No, I had a hat. It said, where's the beef?
Michael. Even if heaven and earth collide tonight, we'll be all alone in a different light. I don't care what the world can't see. It's just between.
And so that was the final... hard to say that. So that was the final showdown between Lori and Michael. And I should address the elephant in the room. For anyone that has seen Halloween Resurrection, you know that I took some creative liberties with the ending there. That's because I do not recognize Resurrection as official Halloween canon. It was a dumpy cash grab that ruined the cathartic and therapeutic outcome of this one. Halloween Resurrection has no artistic value whatsoever. Halloween Resurrection. So join us next week when Distracted Nerd covers the iconic Halloween Resurrection.